Hi scrapbookers, Megan here. I have a new scrapbooking process video for you, and I'm just showing you the papers and pictures that I'm going through. This is from My Mind's Eye, and I guess it's called 29th Marketplace or 29th Street Market is what it was. And then I'm just showing you a bunch of different scrap pieces of paper that I'm going to be using. I got the idea for this layout from Pinterest, of course, and basically it's just to use up a bunch of scraps. I recently went through all of my scraps and organized them into colors, and I have tons of every single color, so it was just kind of bothering me that I had so many, so I wanted to use them up. And here are some full sheets of paper that I thought I might consider cutting up and using, but I wasn't really sure. Okay, so here's my background piece. Sorry, couldn't think of the word. And I just start putting all of the scraps down. I'm trying to figure out where I want the pictures, and then I'll start cutting up the scraps. And I've tried recording this once before, and I forgot to edit the video first, so like it had nice transitions and stuff, and so the text or the audio was off from the video, so I'm redoing it now. And I also sped it up because it was at like 24 minutes and it was so slow, and so now I've sped it up to 16 minutes, so hopefully this will not be so slow and it won't be so boring. I was afraid it was going to be a little bit boring with me doing all this repetitive cutting and pasting and everything. So I had already cut up the picture and matted it before I realized I wasn't recording. And so I kind of started after I had cut and matted my pictures already. So I apologize about that. But I mean, basically, I just cut them to the size I wanted. So it's kind of a boring part of getting the layout done. But here I am just cutting up all these pieces, and I don't like to use scissors. I know some scrapbookers will just cut straight strips with scissors, but mine always turn out wonky and not straight, and then it drives me crazy. So I like to use my cutter. I use it all the time. And my husband even likes to use it. He asks to uses it all the time. So I always find that funny that he relies on my scrapbooking stuff too. So here I am just kind of gluing one piece that wasn't long enough to the other side of it. I cut it in half first. So that's kind of a trick you can do if you need a sheet of paper or something that isn't long enough. You can cut it in half and then glue it to the other side and then cover it up. Like I'm going to cover it up with the picture. So that was kind of a neat little thing that worked out for this time. I mean, something like that doesn't always work for every instance, but it worked for me this time. And this green arrow paper that I'm placing right now, that is one of my favorites, absolute favorites. I believe it came in a Studio Calico scrapbooking kit. I don't remember which one, probably the very first one, which would have been last month. Maybe it was one I got a couple months ago, because I did get an add-on kit that was from them, the scrapbooking add-on. But I just absolutely love it. So it was fun to add it into here. And I think actually those bottom two layers of scraps I don't end up using in the final version of this layout. I just don't really like the green that's on that bottom one. And then the blue one, I just figured I was okay with as many as I had. So the original layout that I saw on Pinterest, I think it went all the way from the top to the bottom, all of the scraps. But I decided as I was going along that I kind of wanted to go a little bit off from that and not um, go all the way from the top to the bottom. And you can tell I'm using my phone a lot of times lately when I have something that I'm doing repetitively. I take a picture of it so then I can pull everything off and then just kind of look at the picture and refer to the picture. It kind of makes it a little bit easier not to stress so much about getting it all mixed up. And I don't remember who I got that idea from. Maybe Mercy Tiara from YouTube. I don't remember, but I think it was someone on YouTube that gave me the idea. Maybe it was Katie Scott. Those two I watch a lot of videos of. So I'm just gluing all these down with my tape runner. And I keep looking at my phone just to make sure that I'm doing it the right way that I wanted it or that I had it before. And I'm sorry if you can hear like a lot of loud noises. I have my door to my craft room shut, but my husband's out there playing video games with my kids right now, so they're having fun doing that, which is fine with me. It doesn't bother me at all. I am okay with them playing video games, so sometimes it just gets kind of loud. So here I am trying to fit those two bottom pieces on, but I decide against it. Oh, maybe I added another piece of green paper. Oh, and then the blue one. Yeah, that's what I did. And then I just got rid of that kind of olivish green color. It didn't really match the other greens, so I just decided not to use it. And here I am just trying to decide where I want to place my pictures, and then I glue them down. And I'm sorry if I keep sniffing. I've kind of had just a runny nose and a cold lately, so I apologize about that. Okay, now that I have it all placed down the way I want it and cut off the ends, I'm trying to find a piece of paper to go on the top because I decided I wanted it to start on blue and end on green. And so here is all of my blue scrap pieces of papers. So I'm just going through those, trying to pick out one. And this is the one that I decide to go with. And some of you might be laughing at me because who in their right mind would save a scrap like that? Like, I mean, seriously, it was not that big of a scrap, but I seriously save everything. I just cannot get myself to throw any teeny tiny little scrap away because I just feel like I'm wasting money. So I'm kind of silly like that. Okay, and here I am. I had some washi tape that has been sitting on the side of my desk because I was going to use it for a project and then I ended up not using it. So it wasn't very sticky and I had to use my tape runner to make sure it stayed down. So that's why I used my tape runner, if you were wondering. And now I'm just trying to figure out what other elements I want to use. And I have a hard time with elements sometimes. I really don't know why. I think it's just because I just put so much pressure on myself to make something amazing. And these are chipboard, those ones that I just showed you are from Stella and Rose, and I got those from a local scrapbooking company called Porter's. And that's what the hand down there with the finger pointing is from. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place it. I do this a lot, like I move things around all the time and I can't figure out what I want. Okay, and now I had to stop the video because I'm a mom. And so I added a couple things like that star and that little, it's a library card that I'm gluing together right now that I cut on my silhouette. And the today, the little sticker that's next to it says today on it. I added those things off camera. I guess I probably forgot to start the camera again, so I apologize about that. But I'm just gluing the library card down and then I'll glue the star on later. But trying to position it a way that I like. And you can see in the top right hand corner there's a star up there. I added that one too. And I'm just trying to figure out the title. I used Amy Tangerine thickers. They're foam thickers. And they're a light blue and dark blue stripe. And so I decided on the title of Jonas Gets Flustered is the original title that I decided that I was going to use, but I eventually change it. So when I actually put it all down, it's going to say something different. It's pretty close still. It's just I just change it to, instead of Jonas gets flustered, Jonas is flustered. And so I'm using the wax paper because I'm not really sure where I want to place my title yet. And so it just kind of makes it easier to see what it will look like on the layout. And I got the idea for using wax paper from Nicole Jones 911, and you can find her videos on YouTube. She is amazing. I love her. And I'm just trying to decide whether I want to use the gold stickers or the white stickers for the Jonas Is part. And I like doing titles like that, having one of the words like big and bold in the main word, and then having the rest of the title just be smaller. And I think I've kind of picked that up from Nicole Jones 911. She does that a lot of times, or she'll use like 4 different alphas in her title, and I think that that is just so cool. I love the different look that you can get from that. So here I am just messing with the title, and I kind of do this for a while. This is my third processed layout, and I am on my 15th layout right now. I haven't started it yet. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm trying to catch up on getting all of my video voiceovers done so that I can get on top of things here. And I think in the last video I told you that I was doing a challenge for myself that by the time I turn 31, I want to have done 31 layouts for the year, which is a pretty good goal for me because I often just get sidetracked, and so I start something and I don't finish. So it's kind of helping me actually accomplish scrapbooking, and this year is the year of scrapbooking for me. Last year I did a lot of sewing. I did some scrapbooking, but mainly sewing. And so this year I'm focusing on scrapbooking, and I want to get caught up. I want to get all done with the year 2008, which is a pretty big goal. So we'll see if I can accomplish that. But anyway, so I just adhered the star with some 3M Scotch tape or Scotch glue. And I like to use the 3M glue for wood veneers and things like that that are just a little bit bigger and cumbersome than a normal flat embellishment. And I wanted to add some words, and so here I am just kind of trying to figure out which words to use from this Studio Calico sheet of stickers. And that one that I picked out that I put at the top, it says you, and then I think this one says relax on it, and I put it there to the side, and now that I'm looking at it, it looks kind of silly, and I kind of wish that I hadn't put it there, but oh well, I guess I can always take it off. It's still on there right now, but if I decide I don't really like it, then I can. And then I just added this tag to kind of give it a little bit more something to stand out on the side there, because there was so much blue and green going on. I kind of wanted some definition there. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of an element, or if I should put a word there or something. And these chipboard stickers are from Studio Calico, and they are so cute. I absolutely love these stickers. So I decided to use this star. It's yellow, a yellow background with a pink star on it, and that kind of goes along with the star theme that I have. And then I decided to put a ribbon under the title just to kind of give it something extra. But I didn't really like the way this green and blue ribbon looked with the blue. So I finally found this one that I liked. And just to make sure I liked it enough, I found some other ones. And then I definitely decided on it. And then I just glue it down. And this part gets kind of messy. I think the glue kind of globbed all over the place on the container. I don't know what happened, but kind of got a little bit messy, which happens when you use liquid glue. Liquid glue is not my most favorite kind of glue. That's why I use a tape runner mostly. But sometimes there's a necessity for liquid glue when you're using ribbon or wood veneers, like I said before. So I'm just kind of cleaning up the glue that kind of spilled everywhere. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do around the title, if I want to do some embellishments or whatnot. And I have these chipboard pieces that I bought from eBay, and I thought that would look really cute to have them on there like that. And I've been dying to use my mists. So I pull out my box and I pull out my Mr. Huey's mist and I just spray it 4 times, which seems to be enough. I probably could have done it a little bit more. But then here I am, I hate wasting all the extra that gets sprayed on the box. So I'm just using another shape from the chipboard set and putting the excess onto these shapes. They look kind of like clouds, but I think they're just supposed to be tags or something. And then so once they're dry, I put them on next to the title. And I just absolutely love how that turned out. I think it just looks so great. This is one of my favorite layouts that I've done so far. And then I use a Inkjoy pen to do my journaling. I don't know if they're acid free, but they're just easy to use and they're really nice. I like the way that they turn out. Sometimes it's easier just to use a pen than it is to use a marker that's acid free. I don't know how many of you these days still stick with the acid-free scrapbooking stuff, but I've noticed that a lot of scrapbookers use like permanent pens and like regular tape and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, I might just jump on that bandwagon. If it doesn't last 100 years, I think it'll be okay. But I'm just gluing down the brackets, kind of cleaning up the glue because it does get a little bit messy on the sides. And then I decide to use my Martha Stewart glue because it doesn't leave as much of a mess. Like it still is kind of messy, but it dries more clear than the 3M Scotch tape glue. And here are some close-ups of all the little embellishments and things. And that is the end of my layout. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back and see more of my process videos. Bye!